Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Sunday, the 31st of March 2024, and we have 55 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 307. Starting with the most recent event which happened last year, a historic tornado outbreak occurs in the Midwest and the northern South. 6 years ago in 2018, start of the 2018 Armenian Revolution. 8 years ago in 2016, NASA astronaut Scott Kelly and Roscosmos cosmonaut Mikhail Komienko returned to Earth after a year-long mission at the International Space Station. 20 years ago in 2004, Iraq war in Anbar province. In Fallujah, Iraq, 4 American private military contractors working for Blackwater USA are killed after being ambushed. 26 years ago in 1998, Netscape releases Mozilla source code under an open source license. 29 years ago in 1995, Selena is murdered by her fan club president Yolanda Saldivar at a Days Inn in Corpus Christi, Texas. In the same year, Tarom Flight 371, an Airbus A310-300, crashes near Balotesti, Romania, killing all 60 people on board. 31 years ago in 1993, the Macau Basic Law is adopted by the 8th National People's Congress of China to take effect December the 20th, 1999. Resumption by China of the exercise of sovereignty over Macau. "32 years ago in 1992, the USS Missouri, the last active United States Navy battleship, is decommissioned in Long Beach, California. In the same year, the Treaty of Federation is signed in Moscow. 33 years ago in 1991, Georgian independence referendum. Nearly 99% of the voters support the country's independence from the Soviet Union. In the same year, the Warsaw Pact formally disbands. 34 years ago in 1990, approximately 200,000 protesters take to the streets of London to protest against a newly introduced poll tax. 38 years ago in 1986, Mexicana de Aviación Flight 940 crashes into the Sierra Madre Oriental mountain range near the Mexican town of Maravatio, killing 167. 44 years ago in 1980, the Chicago, Rock Island and Pacific Railroad operates its final train after being ordered to liquidate its assets because of bankruptcy and debts owed to creditors. 54 years ago in 1970, Explorer 1 re-enters the Earth's atmosphere after 12 years in orbit. 56 years ago in 1968, American President Lyndon B. Johnson speaks to the nation of steps to limit the war in Vietnam in a television address. At the conclusion of his speech, he announces, "I shall not seek and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president." 58 years ago in 1966, the Soviet Union launches Luna 10, which later becomes the first space probe to enter orbit around the Moon. In the same year, the Labour Party under Harold Wilson wins the 1966 United Kingdom general election. 60 years ago in 1964, Brazilian General Olímpio Mauro Filho orders his troops to move towards Rio de Janeiro, beginning the coup d'etat and 21 years of military dictatorship. 65 years ago in 1959, the 14th Dalai Lama crosses the border into India and is granted political asylum. 66 years ago in 1958, in the Canadian federal election, the Progressive Conservatives, led by John Diefenbaker, win the largest percentage of seats in Canadian history, with 208 seats of 265. "67 years ago in 1957, elections to the Territorial Assembly of the French colony Upper Volta are held. After the elections, PDU and MDV form a government. 73 years ago in 1951, Remington Rand delivers the first UNIVAC 1 computer to the United States Census Bureau. 75 years ago in 1949, the Dominion of Newfoundland joins the Canadian Confederation and becomes the 10th province of Canada. 79 years ago in 1945, in World War II, a defecting German pilot delivers a Messerschmitt Me-262A1, the world's first operational jet-powered fighter aircraft, to the Americans, the first to fall into Allied hands. 82 years ago in 1942, also in World War II, Japanese forces invade Christmas Island, then a British possession. 85 years ago in 1939, events preceding World War II in Europe. Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain pledges British military support to the Second Polish Republic in the event of an invasion by Nazi Germany. 91 years ago in 1933, the Civilian Conservation Corps is established with the mission of relieving rampant unemployment in the United States. 93 years ago in 1931, an earthquake in Nicaragua destroys Managua, killing 2,000. In the same year, the transcontinental and Western Air airliner crashes near Bazar, Kansas, killing 8, including University of Notre Dame head football coach Knut Rockne. 94 years ago in 1930, the Motion Picture Production Code is instituted, imposing strict guidelines on the treatment of sex, crime, religion and violence in film in the US for the next 38 years. 103 years ago in 1921, the Royal Australian Air Force is formed. 106 years ago in 1918, massacre of ethnic Azerbaijanis is committed by allied armed groups of Armenian Revolutionary Federation and Bolsheviks. Nearly 12,000 Azerbaijani Muslims are killed. "106 years ago in 1918, daylight saving time goes into effect in the United States for the first time. 107 years ago in 1917, according to the terms of the Treaty of the Danish West Indies, the islands become American possessions. 111 years ago in 1913, the Vienna Concert Society rioted during a performance of modernist music by Arnold Schoenberg, Alban Berg, Alexander von Zemlinsky, and Anton von Webern, causing a premature end to the concert due to violence. This concert became known as the Scandal Concert. 115 years ago in 1909, Serbia formally withdraws its opposition to Austro-Hungarian actions in the Bosnian crisis. 118 years ago in 1906, the Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States, later the National Collegiate Athletic Association, is established to set rules for college sports in the United States. 119 years ago in 1905, Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany declares his support for Moroccan independence in Tangier, beginning the First Moroccan Crisis. 123 years ago in 1901, Rusalka by Antonin Dvorak premieres at the National Opera House in Prague. 125 years ago in 1899, Malolos, capital of the First Philippine Republic, is captured by American forces. 135 years ago in 1889, the Eiffel Tower is officially opened. 139 years ago in 1885, the United Kingdom establishes the Bechuanaland Protectorate. 170 years ago in 1854, Commodore Matthew Perry signs a convention of Kanagawa with the Tokugawa shogunate, opening the ports of Shimoda and Hakodate to American trade. 210 years ago in 1814, the Sixth Coalition occupies Paris after Napoleon's Grand Army capitulates. 250 years ago in 1774, in the American Revolution, the Kingdom of Great Britain orders the port of Boston, Massachusetts closed pursuant to the Boston Port Act. 263 years ago in 1761, the 1761 Lisbon earthquake strikes off the Iberian Peninsula with an estimated magnitude of 8.5. 6 years after, another quake destroyed the city. 307 years ago in 1717, a sermon on the nature of the kingdom of Christ by Benjamin Hoadley, the Bishop of Bangor, preached in the presence of King George I of Great Britain, provokes the Bangorian controversy. 318 years ago in 1706, the last session of history of the Catalan courts, the parliament body of the Principality of Catalonia, ends. Catalonia's constitutional modernisation passed by the courts aims to improve the guarantee of individual political and economic rights, among them the secrecy of correspondence. 367 years ago in 1657, the Long Parliament presents the humble petition and advice offering Oliver Cromwell the British throne, which he eventually declines. "503 years ago in 1521, Ferdinand Magellan and 50 of his men came ashore to present-day Limasawa to participate in the first Catholic Mass in the Philippines. 532 years ago in 1492, Queen Isabella of Castile issues the Alhambra Decree, ordering her 150,000 Jewish and Muslim subjects to convert to Christianity or face expulsion. 878 years ago in 1146, Bernard of Clairvaux preaches his famous sermon in a field in Vézelay, urging the necessity of a second crusade. Louis VII is present and joins the crusade. 1717 years ago in 307, after divorcing his wife Minervina, Constantine marries Fausta, daughter of the retired Roman Emperor Maximian. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.